Aviva Goldfarb knows firsthand that many of us are confronted with the problem of putting dinner on the table after a long day at work. So she developed a stress-free meal planning system to help busy people do just that.
I was a very busy professional in Washington before I had kids, and immediately when I got pregnant, I realized I needed to slow down. I first had my son, who's now 8 and a half, in 1997, and I felt like this was the next phase of my life, and I really wanted to enjoy it. I was lucky to grow up in a house where I had a mom who cooked every day, and we had great meals. And once I was creating my own home, I realized that was something that I wanted to have. As a new parent, I was meeting a lot of other new parents, new moms especially, and we would exchange recipes, and I was so excited by being able to create these dishes, and especially things that were healthy, low-fat, things that my son and later my daughter could also eat. As I talked to a lot of other parents about what they cooked, and what was holding them back from making dinner wasn't really the cooking, but it was the planning. Because if you start to think about what you're going to make for dinner at 6 o'clock, and you suddenly realize that you're missing this ingredient, it becomes really stressful and really disheartening. But that's what a lot of people were doing. They weren't thinking ahead. And what I had started to do, and I remember my mom doing this when I was a kid, it all came back to me as I sat down and thought, oh my God, this is brilliant. It's so simple, but it's brilliant, is to sit down once a week, sometimes it's Sunday night, with all my cookbooks and recipes and things I wanted to try, and plan a menu for the week. That way, we wouldn't be eating pasta every night or chicken every night, and I could go to the grocery store once. So when 6 o'clock rolled around, I knew what I was making. I knew that I had all the ingredients that I needed. And suddenly I realized it was a revelation. It was so much less stressful, and it actually made making dinner fun and easy, and I could just enjoy the process. And I shared this with other people informally at first. Everybody who tried it couldn't believe how much it saved them stress. It takes all the guesswork out of making dinner. This is peanut oil, which I like to use for Chinese food a lot. This is also Chinese chicken with peanuts, so it sticks with the flavor. As I realized that people appreciated this kind of help and advice, I decided to start an online newsletter. And I started the 6 O'Clock Scramble back in 2003. The concept of the 6 O'Clock Scramble is making it easier for busy parents to get dinner on the table each night. So it's basically a menu planning service. I plan easy, healthy, delicious meals for the week. I test them to make sure the recipes are good, and I give a grocery list, and people can just print it out and shop for their groceries for the week. And people really liked the idea. One of the things that I realized was that kids enjoy cooking, and especially as my kids have gotten older, they are able to do more and more for themselves. For example, last night I gave them some dough and some sauce and some cheese, and they made calzones all by themselves. They were proud of it, and they ate it, and they loved it. So I've realized that kids are more likely to eat well if they make it themselves. So I started a cooking class at my son's school. They create their own dinners. They bring home to their family these creations that are healthy and delicious, and they're eating all the things that people say kids might not eat. They're eating them. I really don't know any stay-at-home moms or dads who aren't doing something interesting and productive. We're a pretty type A society, especially here in Washington, D.C. Everybody's doing something. But what I feel like is no matter how busy I am and how busy my kids are and my husband is, we make a commitment to get together for dinner every night. It's one of those times that nobody's distracted, we don't pick up the phone, we really can be together. There are so few times that you're all actually in the same room making eye contact, and there's a certain comfort that I think we take in the routine of being together. I don't think you need to be a chef to make good meals for your family. I certainly am not. I am a parent, and I'm somebody who wants to get good meals on the table quickly, and I want them to taste good. I don't want to waste effort and spend too much time on something that isn't going to be enjoyed or appreciated. I try to have a sense of humor about what I'm doing. It is just dinner. I think that if you approach it with a certain sense of lightheartedness, this is something I can do. There's somebody there who's going to help me, and I can do it, and my kids are going to sit down, and I'm not going to feed them mac and cheese every night for the rest of their lives. It can be an adventure.